Alright, so let's say that we look at our data and it's clearly non-normal. Or we use a statistical test like the Shapiro-Wilk test and find that our data is non-normal that way. Is there anything we can do? Well, first off, there's some math that says that if we have enough data, if we have, a large enough sample size, we can actually use tests that assume normality. For example, the t-test, even when our data is not normal. But there also exist non-parametric tests that we can use to compare two samples. A non-parametric test is a statistical test that does not assume our data is drawn from any particular underlying probability distribution. One such test is the Mann-Whitney U-test, which is also sometimes referred to as the Mann-Whitney-Wilcoxon test. This is a test of the null hypothesis that two populations are the same. Again, I don't want to go too in-depth into the theory of how this test works, but I did want to tell you that things like this exist and show you that this test can also easily be implemented in Python using SciPy. We'd simply say U and P are equal to scipy.stats.manwhitneyu, and provide as arguments our two samples, which we'll call here x and y. This function will return U, the Mann-Whitney test statistic, as well as P, which is the one-sided p-value for this test. The p-value here again acts as it did for the t-test. Note that the Mann-Whitney U-test simply tests whether or not these samples came from the same population, but not necessarily which one has a higher mean or a higher median or anything like that. Because of this, it's usually useful to report Mann-Whitney U-test results along with some other information, like the two sample means or the sample medians or something like that.